Bro, bro.
Be like, oh, what's
You just
that
come up. You can just come
smell?
up there just
Oh,
singing.
oh, be like, what's that smell? That's another one. I'd be like, oh, what's that smell? It's just barbecue. It's Shiloh.
Ooh, that smell.
Like Article 15
Can
comedy,
you smell that
starring
smell?
Eric Knowles, featuring Mike Sanchez, and headlining Shiloh Harris. Catch it now before he blows up.
Yeah.
This would be a good advertisement.
Shiloh Harris, crispy critter.
So Shiloh, I mean, we're kind
Huh?
of making jokes about, being about burns and everything. Uh, for our viewers here, we've done a few podcasts here without you, and we've kind of talked about you a little bit. Do you want to tell your like a quick little hip pocket version of your story,
Yeah, man, I can do
just so they
that.
have some context?
What, like 5 minutes or so, or
However, well,
like try to.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, okay, all right. We'll give it a little snapshot here.
How about the
So,
one
yeah,
minute story, and then we'll see if we can handle the five. I'm just
oh, the
kidding.
1 minute story. Damn, I
No,
don't
I'm
know,
just
man.
kidding.
I'm pretty interesting.
I know.
5 minutes is like really pushing it anyway.
Take up 5 minutes to get to the story.
The most interesting man. So I get injured in Iraq in 2007 by a roadside bomb, and I mean that's kind of the sad part of it, of course. But I have been so extremely blessed in my recovery. But before that, I joined the military because of 9/11. I don't know. I know you got stop loss because of 9/11, right? Eric?
Yeah, I did.
And then, Mike, did you serve? Were you serving before
I was already
9/11?
out. I
Okay.
was living in I was living in Virginia State when 9/11 kicked off. I was
Oh,
actually
okay.
staying on post with my ex brother in law at the time at
Oh, wow.
Fort. God damn it, what's the damn fort over there? I forgot. Anyways, it's a post over there. We were living on post
So
when
how
it
long
had
had
to
you
kick.
been out at that point?
hmm A year maybe.
Oh, wow, it wasn't that long.
No, no. Wait, when 9/11 happened? When that happened?
I want to come back to that because I want to know how you felt. Actually, just
Was
go
that
ahead and
2011?
yeah. How did you feel? How did you feel about that, man? When
What?
9/11 happened and then
Oh,
you
I was
didn't get
out
out
11
again?
years
No,
by then.
2001, bro.
Yeah,
So was it
9/11
2001?
2001.
I was out a year. Yeah, I was out for a year by then.
So
Yeah.
that's interesting because each of us have a different scenario here. Like Mike, you were right there. You got out a year before,
Mhm.
and I know that I bet there was probably some kind of emotions behind that. Like, dude, did you feel like you lucked out, or did you feel like you're missing out?
Fucking looked like I looked. I was like, oh shit, missed that one. Whoa. I
There's a
mean,
lot of guys that said
I
that.
honestly, 9/11 was a lot of a shock when I woke up that morning and saw that what was going on. It was a lot of shock at first, and then there was just like this anger. It was just like because I remember too. I was like I said, I was at the time we were staying with my ex brother in law. We were living on post, and I woke up and I think he forgot. I got bad memory. But anyways, like I said, it was a shock.
Ah.
I remember being in shock and not realizing what was happening, and at the same time, like so the where I was at right there in Fort Lee, Virginia, they mobilized a lot of the units there to go to New York to help with the clearing off process. So I just remember, being there on post, and then all of a sudden seeing all these trucks and everybody mobilize and take off to New York, and I kind of I'll be a liar to say that I didn't at that point wish I could have got back in.
Oh, of course.
I mean, I kind of wanted to get back in at that point, but I already got out and I already had a kid. I already had a kid,
Oh
and at
yeah.
that point too, I already achieved my master weight of 200 pounds, so I was not going to go back in as an overweight.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
Okay.
Shiloh, you said you joined because of 9/11, or you joined
Yeah.
after
So
9/11?
I joined like right after 9/11, and I honestly didn't know if I could or not because I wasn't a good kid. I was not a good guy. I mean, I wasn't necessarily like a horrible person, but it was like I was
All right.
into mischief. I was a typical Vietnam veteran kid, man. My dad, he raised me real
You sold some
hard.
dope.
And anyway, oh yeah, dude. Believe it or not, I never did really get too deep into a lot of that stuff. But I drank a lot. It was like we were always at
Okay.
parties. We were like party folks, man. It was like every weekend we were somewhere partying, and the cops knew where we were, man. I mean, we're small town stuff, It's like they
Yeah.
know every dirt road. They know everybody's house that everybody's allowed to party at.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, it's like we wouldn't be there like an hour sometimes, and it'd be red and blues all over the place. We'd be trying to run out and run through the bushes and get away from them. Man, I probably had like 14 MIPs before I was 18. And
Oh wow.
I'm telling you, I had a bunch.
Dang, bro.
So how old were
That
you
was
when you
before
went
it was
in?
like real serious
Well,
though.
juvenile delinquent, but they still let you in the army with all that?
Bro, I told you I partied a lot, but I hosted a lot of parties too. So it's like
Well,
I
that's
still
great.
host. I know, that's
Dude,
why I
you're
invited you
good.
guys to my house.
You're good news.
So
Listen, if there's
how old
young
were you when
people
you
out
went
there,
in?
if there's young people out there listening, just know you
Yeah.
learned it here first on Article 15 Comedy that you can party all through high school and still get in the army. Get in some trouble. Who cares?
Ironically,
you
that's
in.
a great conversation because that's one of the things I do. I talk to kids all the time, and I tell them, dude, don't believe those. What do they call it in the military? The barracks lawyers? Isn't that what they
Yeah.
call them? The guys that know
Teabag
everything.
lawyer or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I remember I was listening to all these kids, and they're like, "Oh, all my buddies that's just like a little bit older than me. They're like, oh man, you're a minor. It don't last. It don't stay on your record. Well, that's horse shit. Dude, that shit
Yeah.
followed me all the way until how old am I now? Dude, I'm like almost 50, and I still got a rat shit done.
How old were you when
Really?
you joined?
I was 27 when I joined.
Oh, you were a bit older than the average
Yeah,
recruit
so I
when you were in boot camp, huh?
had like 4 waivers. I had to have like 4 or
Wow.
5 waivers. But a lot of the stuff had kind of dropped off, because there's like that all misdemeanor stuff. But I did have to have 4 waivers come in.
So
And
after you barely got in, you ended up in special forces, right? Or a cavalry. Is cavalry
Yeah.
considered a special forces?
No, it's just another grunt military branch. Yeah, and not to say, I'm very proud to be a Cav soldier. We had I don't know, man. Going through basic at Disney, I bet everybody's got boot camp stories, right? That one time at boot camp, isn't that what we were
At
talking about
Disney?
too the other day?
What are you talking about? San Diego?
Somewhere,
Bro,
somebody had bases somewhere. I guarantee it.
I went to San Diego for boot camp.
Oh.
They called us
What about you,
Hollywood
Mike?
Marines.
Hollywood
Because
Marines.
well, we have a bad reputation in San Diego because they're like, oh, when y'all are in boot camp, you get to go to Padres games, which is not true for everybody. It's like the guys that are getting out because they got hurt. They're like getting in the medical platoon and they're getting processed out, or the guys that were too fat, they're in the PCP platoon or whatever. They get to go to games and wear the uniform out there and make it look like we're just enjoying going to the baseball games during boot camp. But Marine Corps boot camp was not fun in San Diego, I'll tell you that.
I thought they issued y'all models whenever you got done, since it's California.
No, well, you have to be really good looking to get in, first of all.
So I take it you had a waiver.
He got waivers for that one, didn't he?
Hell no. They let me to the front of the line.
That he had that rugged. It's not quite typical Hollywood good looks, but if you rush off enough polish, and he'll be all right.
Oh man, I aged like a fine wine, bro. What you talking about?
Or bad rug.
What about you, Mike? Where'd you go to basic?
I went to basic at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Home of the artillery.
Artillery. Oh, you're an artillery guy.
No, I wasn't artillery. That's where the basic was at. Was at Fort Sill, the home king of artillery. That's the base for all artillery. AIT.
Weren't you like supply or something like that?
Huh?
Weren't you like supply or like you worked a desk job or something, didn't you?
I didn't have no desk job. I was man, I feel like I'm high right now, to be honest with you, dude. This is weird. I just took some. I took some ibuprofen and some muscle relaxers.
You
I'm
look
like,
a little high,
I like
bro. I ain't
just a
got.
I
little
know
I
bit.
you're
don't.
struggling, man.
I don't got no desk job.
I know this job, homie.
No,
Now I was
bro.
utilities
I'm
equipment
working.
repair, which is a fancy way of saying I was a HVAC mechanic.
Oh, that's right. Air conditioning
Then
technician.
I got to Korea, and then they were short in NBC NCO, so they
Is
sent me
that what
to
you asked for,
training
or
to
is
be
that
an.
like what you and your recruiter talked about? Or did
What's
he
that?
just like give you a broad range of things you might get?
So when I joined, I had a list of because you take the ASVAB and everything, and they take your scores, and based on your scores, you're qualified for certain positions. So I had a list of jobs that were available to me, but they didn't offer me the thing I wanted to do. Like I want to go in as a medical as a med tech. I want to be in the medical field, but they didn't have it. It wasn't something that was on my list available. Come to find out later on though that they only give you that list of things that they need, not so much what you want to do. Like if I would have held out and said, you know what, I don't want to join, well then they would have come up back and said, okay, we can get you in the medical field. But I didn't know that at the time. And the way the instructor put it, where the way the recruiter put it, he's like, oh yeah, you got to sign up for one of these. You've already gone through
Yeah.
all the process, so you have to sign up for something.
Yeah, that
So
sounds familiar. I think they're like kind of like car salesmen where like they have an idea of where
hold
they're
up.
going to put you as soon as you walk in.
Oh, they have
Well,
an
they know
MTEL,
where
man. They got a
they know
list
what
of
they need.
priorities
They have a list
positions.
of things that they need, and so if you meet their qualifications for what they need, they're going to try to fill what they need.
Well, yeah,
So
they
it
get
was
a list of what they need, but it was based on what we called boat space in the Marines. We
yeah,
call it boat
boat
space.
space
Like
exactly.
Mm.
yeah.
So uh, I picked utility equipment repair because it was a 3-year enlistment after basic and AIT. So it was like 3 years, 20 something weeks, or it was almost a full 4 years. But I was like, that's
Yeah.
cool. I can do it. Get my foot in the door, get some rank, and then when I re-enlist, I can get the MOS I really want. Because the other
Yeah.
MOS that they offered me was military intelligence. It was satellite communications. It would have been a 6-year commitment, and I would have to learn a foreign language and all kinds of other stuff. And I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know. If I'm ready for that kind of commitment. Like I wasn't sure what I really wanted to be there. I just wanted to get
Yeah.
college money, to be honest with you. So I took the 52 Charlie job, and then I was gonna reenlist, but then shit happens. I got a lot of Article 15s. Uh, I had too much fun in Korea. I was young. I was dumb. I cared about a lot of other things more so than military at the time, and it got me in a lot of trouble.
Oh, wow.
I cleaned a, I cleaned a lot of turtle ditches.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing I didn't go to Korea first because I mean I worked really hard to get in as we established. I had to have all these waivers, and the recruiter, ironically, he was the same age I was, and anyway, he had a family, I had a family, and he said, if you want in, he said you're gonna have to go and track all this paperwork down. I said, okay. I said, that's fine. I said, I don't mind doing that. And he said, but just so you know, he said, I can get it done with one phone call. He said, but I'm not. He said, I'm not going to lift one finger to help you. He said, if you want in, you're going to help yourself. And dude, I hustled, man. I made it happen. And then when I got in, I did my absolute best not to get in trouble. I swear, man. I was like, because I wanted it. I mean, I wanted it that bad. Because it's like I said, 9/11 happened. And I was thinking, I got to do something. I wanted to join before, but I think I went. Oh, it was during the Clinton administration, and they had a bit of a drawdown on the military forces, and so they really weren't looking for anybody. But I was thinking, 9/11 happened. They're going to be looking for warm bodies, and I did too, man. I did everything I was supposed to. Got in, and I'm so glad that I did. Even with all of this, with even me being injured, I still
Yeah.
think it was. I mean, I love being in the Cav, man. A lot of camaraderie. That's one of the things that you always hear too. That's why I think Article 15 is so important. Going to the VFWs and focusing our mission on the VFWs is because, and that's why I say, you keep doing repeat venues, more venues are going to come along. But
Yeah.
I think if we can start getting more and more people in there, you're going to have that camaraderie where you sit around and we visit with everybody afterwards. And I know we've been talking about this, and I know we've been doing it. Smoking cigars and having a drink with everybody afterwards, and letting some of the old timers visit with us. It's so important listening to those stories. and it's important for us. It's important for them, and it just should feel good thing, man. But military, I guess it was not. I didn't think it was that hard, honestly. But I grew up pretty hard, you know.
The military
So
was fun. I enjoyed the military.
Um,
Some of my better friends that I have to this day were former military. I can associate better with military people than I do with non-military people. It's because you all have the similar background in a way. Y'all both have an there's an unspoken understanding amongst military guys. It's like when me and Eric first met each other. I mean, when I met Eric 8 years ago, I didn't know Eric from one end to the other. Right? He was just a dude that was on Facebook saying, "Hey,
well, that's
I'm
because
coming into town."
that's because we
But
all share the same beginning. You know, like who we are was torn down and stripped away in boot camp and started,
mm,
you know, from nothing again, from the same point. We all started from there, from boot camp, just in the way. I mean, we're still our own people. We're not completely brainwashed, but I mean, they taught us in a structured way, like how to live, you know, how to
mm,
think
uh,
about
they,
things.
they they taught and installed the importance of
And I
teamwork.
trust that
I think
process.
that's
And
the
that's
one
why when
thing.
I see that in somebody else, I'm like, all right, this guy gets it, you know.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
this guy gets it. Like it's like when you meet another military person and you are doing something together. Like when you're working on a project, it's easier to work with military personnel because everybody knows that they have a role. Nobody's trying to outshine nobody. Nobody's trying to do everything. We all know that each person has a role, and everybody just you just kind of follow
Yeah.
suit. Just like with a tour and everything, we all came together, and at first there was here, this and that, but like at first, we had our lineup going one direction, but then Shiloh was like, you know what? I think let's try it this other way. It might be better. And so then, I mean, nobody wants to be the star. We all just want to fit in the role that fits the best for the show, and we're all very gracious
Yeah.
to take that. That's something that most military people are. They like we have an like I said, it's an unspoken connection. It's just like we just automatically know where we need to be when we're working with other veterans.
Right.
It's not
It's like
there's not a lot of like
I
yeah,
like it, yeah, because it feels very military like just being and hanging around you guys and having this project together. You know, it's like we we all share the same mission, and that's what our goal is to accomplish this mission, uh, which I think we all kind of unspoken agree that it's just, you know, the success of this tour and being able to bring laughter and healing to as many people as possible, being able to
mm,
experience like, wow, you know, we really helped this guy, we really helped this VFW, or they really helped us, you know, because along this journey
yeah,
we've met a lot of really cool people, really cool veterans who have helped us out a lot along the way,
yeah.
oh yeah,
I've
we've met a
enjoyed
lot
it.
of good friends on this
like
tour.
Matt
We've
and
met
all those guys at Triple Threat.
oh for sure, Mike Ryan at Big Stick Bourbon.
Yep. uh RG RG
Yeah,
is a cool
RG.
ass dude.
You know what, dude? I tell you what, RG's post out there, that's happening post, man. Every time I turn around on Facebook, them guys are partying. I'm
I
not talking about
know.
little get together. These guys are straight out just to the bells and the whistles, man. They're like just
I'm
throwing.
gonna start
I
trying to
don't know, dude.
I'm gonna look at their calendar, and we should coincide and like book a show somewhere, at least in the area. You know what I mean? That way
Yeah,
we
for
can
sure.
do our show. If we schedule it just right, we can do our show and then go catch steak night over there or whatever the cool thing they got going on.
Dude, their steaks were good last time. Well, I didn't get to grab one, but I smelled them and they smelled amazing.
They
Did
were
you say
good.
you smelled them?
Yeah, you can
But you
smell them
know
as soon
whose
as you walk
steaks
in.
were
You can tell how
better?
good the steaks smell.
You know whose
Huh?
Oh,
steaks
okay.
were better? And I got to give him props. What was the commander's name in Hewitt where they had the steak night?
Oh,
Man, he was a cool dude. We
shoot, man,
partied
you
with
gotta put me
him
on the spot, dude. But
all night.
dude, they were
Um,
badass over there at Hewitt. We had such a good time at Hewitt.
yeah,
Them
it's
guys,
escaping me
everybody
right
over
now.
there,
I'll
the
think of it now.
commander, the guys cooking, the whole post was just fucking fun.
Dude.
Man, I forgot the cigars this last time. I wanted to bring cigars this last time because I didn't really have anything planned, and I figured if nothing else,
Man,
I could sleep in my truck. But I ended
I
up making
remember
it
you
to the
said that, and
hotel.
I
Man, I
remember
was
thinking,
so
man,
tired.
cigars are for celebrating. Like,
Yeah.
I was so mad after Lufkin when nobody showed up.
It was like we don't deserve cigars.
I mean, I shouldn't say nobody showed up. The we did have about 30 people there, maybe, right?
Yeah, there was. I counted them. I remember there's 30
Yeah.
people. which I think was kind of impressive, you know. But the weird thing
And they all
is
had a great
that,
time. You
yeah,
know,
everybody had a great time, and
everybody
that's what I'm
loved it.
saying is that everybody had a wonderful time.
My
And
mom,
And they
man.
enjoyed my comedy. Inappropriate but funny.
Yeah,
My mom, man, it sucked that I'm glad that my mom got to go see us in Lufkin. But I was really hoping that because she doesn't come watch me do comedy like hardly ever.
yeah.
Right.
It's just been a while since she's done it. She's old and religious, and it's not her scene. You know, I get it. So I was really happy when I was just wishing that it would be like one of those great shows, where like we have 200 people there or something for her to, because now she's like,
That you
oh,
had a show where she wouldn't leave
cool. This is
after.
what you've been doing, for the last 8 years. I'm like, no, this is an off night, mom. Like, I play clubs. Like, I can go play. I was in Las Vegas like a month ago. Come on.
I'm sure
She's
she
like,
does that
bro,
dismissive.
you
Oh,
continue
okay.
very
That
much.
that that's nice, son. That's nice.
I know, right? She comes to the close ones, which none of my the further away from home I go, the bigger my crowds are. It's so weird. I have to go all the way to San Diego or Las Vegas, Colorado
You know
Springs,
what?
Tulsa, Little Rock. Those are my towns.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because it's more exotic.
Yeah.
It is. I've been doing this since 2007, and
Yeah.
it's something I have learned though. It's really important. It's really important. You have to remember this. It doesn't matter if you have one person in the audience or 10,000 people in the audience.
Oh yeah.
Somebody there. They paid to be entertained. That's first and foremost. But
Oh
you
yeah. My
never know
performance doesn't
that
change.
that one
It's just
person, that one person might be your big break. A lot.
it's
There's been
true.
some times that I've been in groups that there was like 10, 15 people, and there's like this whole auditorium, and there's like 10 people there, for whatever reason,
Right. That's
maybe
why they say because you
advertising.
never know who's in that audience. So perform like
Exactly, you
it's
never
like
know.
it's the perform every show like it's the biggest audition of your life. That's what
Yep.
they say.
And so that's why I say, it's like if you keep doing it at the same venues, then I think that the word of mouth will keep going. And yes, I know that we want to do more venues, absolutely. We want to reach more and more demographic, but I just feel like the right people are going to start showing up. They're going to start hearing, and then we're going to start getting out there more and more the way that we're supposed to.
Mhm.
But I really think that Lufkin went really well as far as like the comedy show itself. And that one dude
Oh
that
yeah.
the very first guy that showed up, that Marine, oh man, he had such a good time. He had his family there, he had his wife and his son, and anyway, they had a blast, and they were so cool and patient. You know, the one thing I can say about this show is that we didn't do a lot of merchandise, and that was fine. I still think that I still think it went perfect. I got
Yeah.
to really, feel like I got to know you guys, and I got to beat your ass at pool too. So now I know I can hustle you guys at pool. I guess on a good day.
Yep.
nothing, nothing back. Oh man. Okay, so I want to tell y'all a basic training story. Can I tell y'all a basic training story?
Yeah. Perfect.
Basic tranny story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I got to tell y'all a basic training
Basic.
story.
Hold
DJ
on.
tranny.
Basic. No, not a basic tranny story. A basic training.
Oh, I was like, oh shit, he had a tranny story. I was like, I'm going to be interested in that one. I feel like he could have a basic tranny story. Like,
I feel
Okay,
like if he has a tranny story, it ain't gonna be basic.
damn
nah,
right.
probably not. It'd probably be
Yeah.
extraordinary.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
an
But I
I
feel like
want.
if anybody
extraordinary
out of
tranny
the three of
story.
us would have one, it would be Shiloh for some reason. Just something
Yeah.
about Shiloh screams like I've seen trannies.
So you remember I told you that my recruiter told me, we were about the same age, right? And anyway, he told me I had to work for it and all that. He told me when you get into basic, he said you don't want any person to know your name. The drill instructors, no, you just want to be a ghost. You just want to, like
Yep.
go with the
Yep.
flow and be another salmon in the river. And anyway, so the
Yep.
very first day, right, we're getting our ID cards. And anyway, they call Harris, and I run up there and I get my ID card, and I run back, get back in line. And anyway, I look at the card, and it's not me. And I'm like, oh damn, I'm like, all right. Well, and anyway, so as we wait, I'm trying to get their attention, but every time I'd raise my hand to try to say something, well, they'd fucking scream at me and make me do push-ups or something. And I was like, well, fuck it then. I guess I'll wait. And anyway, finally at the end, we were getting ready because I felt like I was in the wrong platoon. And anyway, sure enough, I was in the wrong platoon. Well, I finally got the drill sergeant's attention, and I was like, drill sergeant, I said, please, I said, I think I'm in the wrong platoon. And he grabbed the ID card and he said, isn't your name Harris? And I was like, yeah, my name's Harris. I was like, but I'm not black. Like that. And he goes, oh, so you ain't. Well, first rattle out of the box, right? So then they went and got another ID card, another Harris one, and they brought me that ID card. It was the wrong Harris again, so I ended up in the next wrong platoon.
Oh my God!
Right? And so anyway, every time I opened my mouth, the drill sergeants are screaming at me, and I'm like, "Fuck, man!" I was like, "Man, I'm pretty sure I'm in the wrong platoon again." And anyway, so I finally get one of the drill sergeants' attention. And I'm like, look, man, I said, I got the wrong ID card. And he's like, okay, well, we'll figure this out. And by now, we're already like in the barracks, dropping our gear and stuff. And everybody's like hustling. And I mean, it's like fast moving, right? And I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be. And I know I'm in the wrong platoon again. And dude, I'm sweating my ass off because I'm running. I'm doing push-ups every time I open my mouth.
Yeah.
And then finally, I finally get somebody's attention, and I was like, I think I got the wrong ID. I think I'm in the wrong platoon. And I'm running through the barracks, and I got all my gear, and they're like, you better go catch them because they're already on the way out the door. And dude, I got all my stuff, and I'm running through the barracks, and dude, I come face to face with the first sergeant and the captain. I almost run them over. I got all my gear, and dude, and I mean, it was like the Matrix. Both of them just standing there, and they like stared down at me like that. And I mean, it was like, I was like, oh, you know, and I hit the floor, and I'm laying on the floor with all my gear, right? And they're like, what the, blah, 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 blah. They're just screaming at me. I'm like, holy shit, dude, first day, and everybody fucking knows exactly who I am. Or at least they know I'm one of 3 Harrises. So for the entire basic training, so we had one black Harris, we had me, and then we had another Harris. And the other Harris, he was the bad seed. He was always in trouble for dipping. Oh, bro.
Dude,
he did everything that you're not supposed to do.
Not only were you in the wrong place twice, that probably means those at least 2 more Harrises were out there in the wrong place. One guy doing it. One black guy and one mean guy. Is that what you said?
Well, let's just say bad. Let's just say he was bad.
Bad guy.
bad Harris. Bad Harris.
Exactly. I was not the bad Harris. So me and the black Harris, though, we were like,
what do you mean he was
like,
bad?
We're like brothers from another mother, you know? And
what
anyway,
do you mean he was bad? He was like, I'm really from ISIS. Don't say nothing. You know?
He might have been that bad. I don't know. Wait. So every now and then, one of the drill sergeants, they'd see Harris on the name tape, right? And boy, they'd come over there and start smoking me, and be like, "Is this that dude? Is this that guy dipping? Is this that guy?" And they're like, "Oh no, not that one. He's the good one." And I'm like, "Damn, bro."
It's the non-black Harris, so he's okay.
So first day, everybody knew who I was.
Shit.
All the basic, they knew who I was. Every time I turned around, somebody's trying to smoke me. I was like, damn. So,
man, I bet you they just tore up anybody named Harris every time they saw any Harris out there.
Well, it kind of paid off in Germany too. I got to Germany, and anyway, one day they were calling out for random UAs, and anyway, they're like Harris, and anyway, me and the other Harris, we were both in the same platoon, right? Damon Harris and Shiloh Harris. And anyway, I said, we looked at each other, and we both come running up there, and the first sergeant was like, what the hell is this Tom, Dick, and Harry, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I said Harris. And we're like, yeah, but you didn't specify which one. So then it went for, and somebody had already gotten onto us because in our platoon sergeant, and I think the captain, he actually started calling us by our first name, Damon and Shiloh. And so even when I first got to my first unit, I became Shiloh almost immediately. And then Damon, then the first sergeant, when he was like, he got all pissed that day, you know, because me and him both showed up, and he was like, what the hell, da, 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 da. And then, because he had said something about first names, he's like, no, y'all are enlisted. We don't do first names. And anyway, so then that moment he goes, "Oh, I get it now, Shiloh and Damon," and we're like, "Yeah." And then right away, but yeah, I was always really lucky in the military, man. Everybody liked me, thank goodness. I did what I was supposed to do, and again, I like to party, so everybody liked to party with that I hung out with, and I got tied in with the NCOs. And I told them, I was like, I want to get promoted fast, and they were like, all right. So I always got included in stuff. So my military career, dude, it was pretty good, man. I really enjoyed it. I
Did
had
you
a great
ever
time.
were you ever a young single soldier that stayed in the barracks?
I had to mentor many of those young single soldiers. I was
Never
married
lived the
almost the
barracks
whole
life
time.
though, huh? Man,
Oh,
we had some wicked parties in the barracks, dude.
oh yeah, I was on CQ
Over
for
at
some of
Marine
that
Corps Air Station
cleanup.
Miramar between like 2000 and 2003. Woo!
Ooh,
We was
tell
tearing
us
it
about
up,
some of them.
man. We
Tell us
had
about
an
one of the
E.
good ones.
That was back when we had an E club, and the E club parking lot was right there connected to our barracks parking lot, the one that I was stayed in, 5535. And they had a college night or whatever on Thursdays. They would let college people in. College girls would come on base and get hammered at the E Club, which was basically a karaoke bar right there in the parking lot of our barracks. Yeah, we didn't even have to go to the E Club. We would just hang out at 2 a.m. when they when they
Waiting for
when
them
they
to come out.
closed. Just be like, hey,
Come on
we're
over
still
here this
drinking
way,
over here.
ladies.
Yeah, it was nothing crazy. It was just like, hey, we're still partying. You want to come hang out with us? We got beer. We got whatever foo drinks you like too.
Oh goodness,
And then
sorry.
we'd sneak them in the barracks. There was only one guy on duty in the barracks, and he was one of us. We took turns doing it. We're not going to snitch.
Well, I got in trouble a lot for staying at the barracks.
To be a little bit more specific, you can't just say we took turns doing it and leave it like that. We took turns watching out for each other.
We took turns standing duty as the duty guards.
That's better. Like, man, we bring him in and we take turns doing it.
No, I didn't mean that. I'm not saying that.
Hey, did either one of you go overseas to Germany or anywhere? Oh, well, I know you went to Korea, Mike, right?
Yeah, I went to Singapore, Thailand, Australia.
Oh, dang.
Hawaii. I got to visit a bunch of cool places.
So you went
Kuwait
so
and all that.
So in Korea, the bars closed, right, at a certain time, and you had to be back on base.
Is that right?
So in Korea, depending on what unit you were in, you had a curfew. So I was in 19th TACOM, but we were stationed in the 2nd Infantry Division in their region. So we had curfew. We couldn't be out past Monday through Friday. You couldn't be out past 10 p.m. And then on the weekends you had to be back in by like 1, I think. Unless you had a warrior pass. If you had a warrior pass, then you could stay out the entire night.
Oh, okay. So warrior pass.
How do you get a warrior
pass?
pass?
You're only allowed to have 10% of your forces gone at any given time, and when you're in that area.
How do you get a warrior pass?
So if you had a post,
how do you get a warrior pass?
You can apply for it like earlier in the week, or so you apply. You say, hey, I'm gonna go this weekend. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go to like the other side of Korea this weekend. I want to go, hang out with friends.
Man, that's
so
Army stuff right there.
Earlier.
There's no warrior pass in the Marine Corps.
Oh, here we go.
We had
hey,
to do
can I get an extra day? Yeah, if you just fill out the form. Yeah, extra day.
I lived off post. So I had a permanent warrior pass. So I was good. I didn't have to worry about that shit. I lived off post. I had a permanent warrior pass. I used to sell that shit. I used to sell that shit every weekend for $50. Need a warrior pass? Got $50? Here you go.
Yeah, man. You weren't like me. I was on the front lines in San Diego. Yeah.
In San Diego.
I was on the front lines in San Diego.
Right there in the front lines, waiting for the surf to kick off. Ooh, so dirty. So dangerous.
Bro, it used to get pretty gangster down there on Mira Mesa Boulevard.
I bet. Nah,
I know we got locked
down one time. we got locked down one time in Korea, where we had to wear all the gear and everything like that, and really be on post and shit because I think North Korea had fired a missile. They were missile testing at that time, and they fired a missile over to the Japan Sea, and so that put everybody on red alert. So we moved. They had moved blocks in front of all the posts and everything like that. Everybody, we had to start standing guard with actual M16s and with real ammo and fucking grenades. And I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Wow.
I was like, oh, this it kind of freaked me out a little bit. Like, oh, this is real, huh? We're really doing this shit. Like, okay.
That's
That
cool.
only lasted for a few months. Then we stood down. Everybody stand down. Like, all right, it was a false alarm. We're good.
Hey, did y'all know that guy that? So the reason I was asking about the Warrior Pass or the Korea, wherever you guys have been. So in Germany, and I talk about Germany because that was my first duty station. It was like my first time leaving the country. Yeah, man, it just blew my mind. But there was a bit of family history there. So my grandfather was stationed over there, and I grew up on a lot of stories from Germany. And my dad, apparently, he was a kid in Germany. And man, he loved it. He was always talking about like fruit trees and how beautiful the countryside was and all that stuff. And anyway, I got to go to Germany for my first right before my first deployment. And anyway, so I get there and I'm married, but I was unaccompanied at the time because I had to get housing, I had to fill out a bunch of paperwork and all that stuff, right? So I get there, and of course, I immediately see like all my guys from basic training. We were all like, "No kidding, man, we're all here, yeah." So of course, we want to go party. Well, they assign uh, people that's been in the country for a little bit to go out with you the first couple times you go out because the bars
Oh
don't
yeah.
close. The bars do not close at all. And anyway, about 4 o'clock in the morning, man, I was still ordering double Jack and Coke. And I was like, oh shit. They were like, so it's 4 a.m., just so you know. We don't have formation tomorrow, but you're still going to have to sleep this off. And it's probably going to take a couple days. And anyway, I started thinking, I'm like, it's 4 a.m. and I'm still drinking double Jack and Coke. And we're still partying like it's like midnight.
Dang, dude.
Bro,
Well,
it was crazy. At 7
the club
a.m.
the
Sorry.
clubs in Korea, they're open. They're open overnight, all night long. I mean, so
That's if
when
you
we
have the
first
Warrior
landed in
Pass, right?
Korea, huh?
That's if you have the Warrior Pass, right?
Well, no. That's I'm talking about like the straight legit Korean clubs outside of post, outside the military. If you're just at the Korean clubs in Korea, they're open. They're open all night long. They don't close. Like when we first landed in Korea, we stayed at the Hilton off post because they didn't have any room for us on post. So we stayed on the Hilton off post right outside of Yongsan. And I remember I was like on the sixth floor, and all night long all I heard was boom, 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 boom. Because there's clubs underneath all the hotels. There's clubs. And I'm talking like massive ass clubs. And so I remember
Mm.
they came to pick us up the following morning at 5 a.m. to take us to Yongsan. And so we're standing outside waiting for the buses and everything. And here's all these badass looking Korean girls just coming out from underneath the club. And I mean, this is like in the middle of winter. It's fucking freezing cold. I've never seen snow, but I'm seeing snow. And they're coming out of these clubs with short mini skirts on and just I'm like, wow, how are they wearing that? And it's so cold, and they're just like in mini skirts, and like it was nothing. Like,
Wow.
but yeah, they partied all night long. I mean, they partied.
Oh,
I
look,
went to a
Damn.
couple of those clubs. So there's
we,
a couple clubs that you can go to, and then there's a couple clubs where they don't let you in because you're American. But
Yeah.
we went to a bunch of the other clubs, and like it was like 50,000 won could get you it'll get you a table, and then you'll get your first round of beers for free, or not for free, but you'll get your first round and like a fruit platter, all for 50,000 won, which is like the equivalent like $35. But it would cover four people plus the table and everything like that. But man, they'd have girls dancing go
That's
go
a
on
good deal.
these little poles and stuff like that, and they had like these professional dancers on the stage and stuff like they went all out. And the crazy thing is like over there, what was crazy to me is over there, like Koreans, when I went, love black dudes. They just infatuated with them. We,
uh,
we we got invited to all kinds of places
Mm.
because my battle buddy was he was from Louisiana. He was a black dude, and so we would be hanging out at the clubs, and then like there'd be Korean guys coming, hey, you come here, come on, you dance with my wife, dance with my wife. Like he wanted him to dance with his wife because like I don't know, they watched too much fucking TV and then like they thought everybody. We got invited to a karaoke thing because they thought my buddy Ross, his name was Rasheer.
Like he's doing that as a gift to his wife. Like, here, baby, go.
Exactly.
Let me
And
be
so
that guy
we
to
were at
dance
a
with you.
club one night and Ite won. And I remember we got like my buddy Rasheer's like, hey man, there's these bad girls. They want us to go with them to the karaoke bar. They want us to go karaoke, right? So we're thinking that, it's these three really young looking, cute Korean girls, and we're young guys at the time. So like,
Yeah.
dude, let's go, dude. We're gonna get lucky. I'm so excited about it, right? So we get over there. When we get to the karaoke spot, the girls leave, and there's a Korean dude. He's all
Damn.
dressed up like with like the South Pole, like he's dressed up all hip hop and shit, and he's all like, "Oh yeah, you sing," and he starts saying the N word a lot. And he's like, no, it's okay. I understand the culture. It's okay. I say the and he's like, no, you say that one more time. But it was just like they were so infatuated with the culture, and the whole reason they invited us because my buddies were black and they thought they could sing like Michael Jackson. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right. Same
Like, where the
thing.
girls
Germany.
go?
In Germany is the same thing. The girls over there, they were like hooked on this MTV lifestyle. They had this like
Yeah.
mentality that a lot of these young black soldiers were coming, and it was like they were going to marry them and take them back to America, and they were going to live like they're watching all these music videos and stuff. And I mean, it was crazy. But dude, it's like I seen a lot of that too in Germany, and it was good for those guys, honestly. And for me, hey, it didn't bother me because I was married, but a lot of the younger guys, a lot of the white guys, they're coming over and they were having a hard time getting dates. And it was like they were the ones going to the whorehouses and stuff like that. I was like, they're like, you want to go? And I'm like, no,
And what
absolutely not.
this is Germany, you're saying?
Yeah, Germany, and in Germany too. I don't know how it was in Korea, but you had to like literally ID every girl. In fact, one of our first sergeants ended up like with somebody that was a minor, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean,
Right.
she was smoking hot, but she didn't look like she was under 18. But
I
dude, she
mean,
was like
in
16.
all defense, Shiloh, you went over there as a middle aged man. Everybody's gonna be underage to you.
I know, right?
That's
Yeah,
true.
they were all kids to me.
You were like 29 by then, dude.
I was in Korea. I was only 17, almost barely 18. So I was good, but you were middle aged already when you went. Everybody was underage to you.
Yeah, granted, you got me on that one. That's for sure. Yeah.
I was
Well, hey
I was
guys, it's
20 in boot camp. I turned 21 at my first school in Pensacola. That's where my first school was. I went to air traffic control school, and then I did that for about a month or a month and a half, or I don't know. Like I did it for a long time. I made about halfway through, and then I failed. I rocked out because I was just partying. Because I turned 21 the night I got there, and just got drunk as hell. And then the following night, my buddy was like, "It's your birthday," and I was like, "Yeah, I know. I celebrated already." And he's like, "No," and he took me to a strip club in Pensacola, and they told the DJ that it was my birthday, and they paid for the big birthday whatever thing. And the strippers pulled me up on stage and stripped me down, took all my clothes off of me, down to my tidy whities with my name stamped on them that I got from boot camp. That's how new I was. I was wearing those non-ironically. Those were still my drawers. That's how boot I was.
Oh, look like
And
we
they all
have
wrote
everybody.
they all wrote their names on me
Knowles.
with magic marker. And I showed up to PT the next morning, stinking like a brewery, but I was there, and I forgot about all the marking on me. And the corporal or whatever pulled me to the side and was like, "What the hell?" I explained it to him, and he just laughed. He's like, "All right, just go shower and meet us back." He like excused me from PT.
I think I had a very unique Korean experience. I think when I was in Korea because I didn't really hang out with a lot of military people when I was in Korea. It's weird when I met a bunch of Filipinos when I was in Korea, and we kind of just like kicked it off. Like they were nationals there working, and so a majority of my time was spent off post. Like I was only on post when I had to be, but when I didn't have to be, I was off post, and I was experiencing Korea like everybody else sees it. I lived off post and I shopped off post. I never really came to post unless I absolutely had to, and so my experience there was a little bit different than most other people's because it wasn't all entwined with the military. I did a lot of off military post things, and I mean, like, I talked about that warrior pass. I never really needed the warrior pass because if I went anywhere where there was military people, at that time I was a lot skinnier, and I like I said, I hung out with a lot of Filipino nationals, so they would just give me their passport, and then we would sit there be drinking, and MPs would come up and like, oh no, he's Filipino, he don't speak English, and then I'd be like, I knew like I knew like 4 words in Filipino, so I would just keep saying them, and then I would show my passport,
Oh my
and then they would try
god,
to grab it, and they'd be, huh? Yeah,
dude!
and I would show
I'm
the
just freaking
passport, and they
out.
would try to grab it, and the Filipinos like, hey, you can't take his passport. He's no soldier. You can't take it. You need to fuck off. And then they would leave, and then they're like, all right, we need to hurry up and get the fuck out of here before they come back. I'm like, all right, where are we
Damn.
going? And they'd be like, let's go over here. I know these girls that work at this club. They'll let us stay in their room. And so I stayed in their room, and I'd wake up with like 8 fucking Filipino girls all over me. It was a lot of fun. Did crazy shit. I had a lot of fun
Wow.
in Korea. I had too much fun in Korea. That's probably why I got in so much fucking trouble. Because like I remember coming
Wow.
in, we had this thing in Korea. It's called fall grain, which was like an alert, like a training exercise. So whenever they call fall grain, you had like an hour to get all your gear together, and they would tell you what mop gear level it is. So they'd be like mop level
Oh
gear
man.
3, and so you had to get up in level 3 gear. You had to go downstairs. You had to check out your weapon. You had to make it back to your to wherever your squad was at, and then you start loading up the trucks and get ready to take off.
Hmm.
So I remember coming in at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. I'm just barely stumbling into the gates. And I mean, it was a long walk from the gate to the damn barracks. So I'm coming around. I turn around. I make a left and go down that road, and I see somebody stick their head out of the from the fucking barracks, and Sanchez, Sanchez, get your fucking ass up here. They called fall rain 40 minutes ago. I'm like, huh?
Oh,
I
oh
haven't
shit.
slept. I've been drinking. I was fucked up. And then all I
Damn.
wanted to do was just go upstairs and go to sleep. And then
Yeah.
no, I went up there and I had to jump and get in my gear real quick and they gave me an M16 and I reeked of alcohol and I could
Oh
barely
my
keep my
god.
eyes open. And then we're about to do 24 hours of just around the taking off somewhere and fucking setting up a camp, and it was the start
Oh
of an exit
man.
valve. So dude, I was hurting. They have these big ass turtle ditches right all around the post because they get monsoons over there, so they flood real easy. So they got these big ass ditches they call turtle ditches. They're about maybe 5 foot deep or maybe 6 foot deep, and so you have walkways across them to get to the roads and shit. Man, I was so tired. I was dragging my M16 and I was walking like a zombie. And I could have swore I was going to go over the crosswalk, but I missed it completely, and I just walked right into the ditch.
Oh,
Hit my face on the damn ditch. I mean,
damn.
I just fucking, I was all fucked up. I looked up and I crawled out of the ditch. I looked up and there's my sergeant
No.
sitting there in the decent half, laughing his ass off, looking out the window, like, what the fuck? I was just like, I don't know. I was just fucked up. Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
I had a lot
So
of fun. I had a lot of fun.
Victor Ramirez, he
Hey,
10 minutes
Victor,
ago.
what's up, buddy? Good to see you too.
Oh, is he in the
Shit, I'll
comments?
tell you how, like, Eric. I'll tell you how bad it was in Korea. Right,
There he is.
I was such a bad. I was having such a good time in Korea. I fucking joined a church just so I could try to get laid.
Oh yeah.
Because like, dude, we were like, so this is what I'll tell you what this is what the deal was. Okay, so like we were walking around Weijambu. I had to use the bathroom. It was me and my buddy Roshir, my battle buddy. So we were walking around and we were looking for a place to use a bathroom, and there was this church, and it happened to be a Catholic church. So it had English writing mixed with Korean writing. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, that's what's up. Um, I was like, let's go in there. We can use the bathroom. So we go in there to use the bathroom, and then like they start talking to us. They're like, oh, okay, are y'all Catholic? Are y'all, Christians? And I'm like, oh yeah, this and this. And they're like, oh, okay. They're like, I look in the like I see in the door. There's like these like 3 or 4 like really beautiful, like just really pretty Korean girls. And I'm like, well, yeah. So I started talking with them more and more, and they're like, oh, well, you should stay. And I'm like, no, that's okay. I just need to use the bathroom. And they're like, then the Korean girls are real pretty ones. they brought them up and they're like, oh yeah, we would love to talk to you. I'm like, okay, we'll stay. So we ended up getting stuck teaching a whole fucking like teenagers group, a group of teenagers. They had like they had like church school, and so they had to stay there and talk to them and stuff like that. And I remember like the two or the three girls that were like in charge of the whole group. They were like in 19 or 20 years old, which was right where my age was at, And I remember we were talking to them, and they were being real flirty, and I was like, dude, this is awesome, dude. If we play our cards right, we can get lucky with these girls, and they're good girls because they're good Christian girls, so they're gonna be pure. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. We were so far into this that we took that whole fucking group to the amusement park. We volunteered to pay for everybody to go to the amusement park. We were just trying to get in the good graces. Nothing worked out of it, but out of desperation, like it would have been easier just to go to a whorehouse instead. But we joined religion. We joined Christianity just so we could get lucky, but it didn't work out. He had other plans. He just wanted us to learn. I guess I don't know.
Mike. That's what you get.
Yeah. See, Eric's starting to hear shit about my stories. He's like, man, I didn't know that side of Mike. I wish I didn't know that side of Mike.
Trying to use the Lord to get lucky. That don't even sound right, dude.
Yes, very much so.
Hey, they say if you're gonna pick something up to take home, you want to find it in a church, not a bar. I'm just saying.
That's what I wanted to do. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to find me a good Christian girl. She could have kept me right, and that would have been all right.
You're lucky you didn't get a lightning bolt in the wiener, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy, Mike. I had a good opinion of you before this.
That was 19. Dang, Eric, that was 18-year-old Mike. Okay, can't judge me for what 18-year-old Mike.
All right, that's true.
They sent me as a virgin, so I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Hey, dude, you killed me with when we were in Victoria, and you said that about the toothpaste. You're like, if you've never gotten a blowjob from somebody that don't have teeth, there's like a tube of toothpaste, dude. I like to fucking die.
Oh my.
I swear, man. And dude, I looked over at my wife and I was thinking, bro, I wonder how long she's gonna keep her teeth.
Man, don't you think you have a few cavities you like to take care of? They can just take all that out.
Dude, my mom hated Mike.
What? No,
yeah. No, she don't like all that dirty stuff. Like, she can handle it a little bit. I don't know. It was too much for her. But I mean, she enjoyed the show,
forth, right?
I like
it was the rocking back and forth, right? She didn't like the whole catching the wiener.
I don't know what about it. I don't know where the line was for her.
Oh, hey, it is a little after.
You're probably just reminding her of her own sins, so she just didn't.
Through you.
You know what though? This is my thing with that whole situation. Everybody at that show are adults. Everybody, and I've come to find out that older folks think about sex just as much as we do. So they're dirtier than we are in a lot of cases. We just kind of have this opinion that, they're older, so they don't like that kind of stuff. The hell with that. They think about it just like we do all the time. They just can't do it as much as we can.
Yeah.
Actually, my mom. I kind of figured that though. Huh?
My mom just had shoulder surgery today, so I've got her staying with me for a few days.
Oh, tell her I said hi. Tell her if she needs anybody to come and entertain her, I'm willing to go over there, or I can call her FaceTime, or we can entertain her.
I'll tell her. Hey, Mike said he'll come over here and scissor you real quick.
We could do some appropriate entertainment.
Yeah,
keep it PG-13.
Tell some joke.
Oh shit! But she's doing okay though.
Yeah, surgery went well and she's fine. They put a nerve blocker on her, so she can't feel anything, but it's going to wear off in about 12 hours probably. And then she's going to be in pain. But she's okay.
Then you're really going to need that pin.
Yeah. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? So we're going to have a new segment next week on the podcast called One Time in Boot Camp. And we all have our own stories, but we want our listeners and viewers to put your stories in the comment or send us a message if it's, if you want to spend some time and type it out or whatever. But I know everybody has a funny story about what happened in their boot camp, and I'd love to hear from all the different branches. That'd be pretty cool.
I
That would
think
be
that
cool.
would
So,
work.
like, yeah, that would be really fun. So, you know, Adrian and
Yeah,
I went
so
to boot camp together.
that's right, huh? I forgot about that. That's a cool
Yeah,
detail.
yeah, we went to boot camp together. It was me, Adrian, and another buddy of ours named Jose. All three of us joined together to, and went to boot camp together at Fort Lee or at Fort fuck, I forgot where I went to boot camp at. Fort Sill.
Bruh.
Yeah, it was crazy.
All right.
It was
Whatever
crazy.
happened to Jose?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Maybe he got lost. He probably went
Uh,
to the wrong platoon like Shiloh. He got
I
confused
don't
with a
know, man.
different
Like
Jose.
I know he went to Germany, and after that, we kept in touch for a little bit after that. But then he just kind of went. Yeah, he went. I know he went to Iraq for a little bit, but with the Department of Defense, and then I think while he was over there, he kind of just went off a totally different direction, and we haven't heard from him since.
That reminds me, like one of the things I loved about the military so much, and maybe what I didn't love about it at the same time was how like as you moved through all this training and we get stationed around different places. I got stationed a bunch of different places before I settled into the fleet. And like you would make friends along the way, after you spend a
Yeah,
couple of weeks together with somebody, you start to bond. And you made like, so I have all these like different levels of like, dude, I remember I was at this place for 3 weeks and me and this dude were like fucking like homies. And then we both got stationed at our next thing and it wasn't the same thing. And like, I never saw that guy again. I don't know what happened
yeah,
to those guys.
yeah.
I met some really cool people in air traffic control school. I still am in touch with one of them. No,
Is
no.
that the guy that came to the Pearland show?
Apparently
Say that
so.
again.
No. That was a guy. That was a guy that I didn't serve with, but we worked together as
Oh,
helicopter mechanics later. We did serve at the
damn.
same time on the same base. We just didn't know each other,
There you
but
go.
we met after we got out. So we like to tell, yeah, we didn't serve together, me and this guy. We're both Marines, but it's like we're out. We were out before
Yeah,
we met.
yeah. I had a good time in the military. I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I think. Um, I wouldn't take it back for the world. I
Yeah.
wish I would have been a little bit better of a soldier, maybe stuck it out a little bit longer. I think I could have done a lot more with it than what I did. I think I feel like sometimes I kind of wasted that opportunity. I could have done a little bit better, but like you said, everybody gets their experiences out of it, whatever they get out of it. And I got some really good friends out of it. Uh, I got a way of thinking of things nowadays that I probably wouldn't have this mentality I have now, and I have a mentality that's helped me get through a lot of hard things. Because every time something in life would get bad and or would get difficult, I'd always reflect back to the military and things that trials and tribulations that you go through there and challenges that because they at points of the military they challenge you to the point where you don't think you can succeed, but you still overcome. You learn like I think the Marines say you adapt and overcome everything. So you learn to adapt, you learn to overcome things, and I think that's probably one of the most useful traits that I got out of the military was the
In the Marines,
ability
we say
to
improvise,
adapt and
adapt,
overcome.
and overcome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I was in the army. We didn't do the
We start with
improvisation. We just
improvise.
adapt and overcome. That's it.
I think
That
that's
was
why it
one
was a
step
good
too many.
comic because I learned
Huh?
improv in the Marines. I think that's why I was a good comedian because I learned improv in the Marines. We always had to improvise, adapt, and overcome to any situation.
There you go.
Hey, there's a lot of
Hey,
truth to that. I think actually, I
There
said
is
it
a lot
as
of
a
truth
joke,
to it. I mean, and
but
that's what I'm
right
saying. There's a
after I
lot of
said it,
that
I was like,
you.
I think that's true. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm good at improv, like only when I'm hanging out with like the guys, like everybody's like chilling and shit. But it's like if you put me on the spot and be like, okay, we're gonna do improv, and it's like, so and it's like
I know it
one
seems
day,
corny. I should learn it. I
I know
really
it just
should.
feels weird. You know what I mean? It's like I overthink it or something. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me. It's like it's got to be like on the spot, like in the moment we're partying or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know.
What do you say
But I
we
can
all
do it on
quit what we're
stage.
doing
I
and
think I
move
can do it
to
on stage because it's
California?
like somewhat natural.
I say we all quit what we're doing and move to California and join Groundlings.
Oh hell no! I would move to
Improv.
California if y'all paid me to go to California. Fuck California.
You wait for California's
Alrighty.
coming to Texas
Oh well, I
anyway.
take that
So.
back. I shouldn't say that. Some parts of California. I honestly I love California,
No, yeah,
but it's just the
California
politics out there are so
is
hostile
great.
right
Is a
now.
crazy place right
It's just
now.
like,
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I love California. It's beautiful, and I have so many wonderful friends out there.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't say that, you know. But I'm just like, it's always such a hostile, and it's like they tried to block Texans from coming to over there and stuff. I was like, they've had like a travel restriction. You remember that? And they
No,
put
I
like
didn't know that.
Yeah, they put a travel restriction on Texas. They weren't going to pay for government officials to fly to and from Texas and this and that because we weren't complying with certain things. And I was like, man,
Oh.
don't be, man, it was just silly. And that's why I was like, you know what, I ain't playing that game.
Right.
But, anyway.
Whatever.
All right,
You
well,
want me to go to
it's past my
California?
bedtime. No, I'm just kidding. I still got a bunch of work I got to get done. 9:15. I think I really enjoyed doing this tonight. So y'all
All
gonna
right,
do this
old
again
man.
next week, right?
Yeah, man, we're gonna do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
8 p.m. every Wednesday.
8 p.m.
Okay.
8 p.m.
We-
Yeah, I'm
you know,
looking
we
forward to
probably
tuning in next Wednesday to read everybody's one time in boot camp stories.
One time.
And one time in boot camp.
we might want to rethink that 8 p.m. and maybe knock it down to 7:30. You know, for old man Shiloh up there.
You want to do 7:30 next week?
Yeah, I'm okay with
No,
that. It doesn't matter. 7:30.
I'm just kidding. I'm messing with Shiloh because he's past his
No, I
bedtime.
know. Hey, I own it. You see me? I'm not even shy. I'll be like, yeah, I'll be the
Hey,
out of it.
Shiloh, I got a question now because I'm thinking about this because you always talk about let me find my ears or let me. So you can literally turn off the sound if you wanted to. So like for you, for example, sleeping is no problem. You don't have to worry about it. You just turn it off and just go to sleep and you don't hear shit.
That's not entirely true. I do have some hearing. You know, even though I don't have ears, I have. I have some of my hearing, but I got little hearing aids that go on my ears. And anyway, but the ears is just they actually do capture some sound when I wear my ears, but the biggest benefit is it blocks some of the noise from like behind, so I don't have a lot of ambient noise coming around. But so some of my friends that I've known for a long time, and I mean like years, you know, anyway, it's the spouse of a double amputee. Anyway, his wife and another wife of another amputee. We were riding in a van not long ago, going from one event to the next. And anyway, they were like, "Hey, Shiloh, can we ask you a personal question?" And I was, in my mind, I was thinking, I thought that's the only shit we talk is fucking personal, you know, because it seems like everything's like really personal when you know you're talking about amputees and this and that. And anyway, I was like, "Oh yeah, sure," you know. And they said, "Okay, so we have this like really crazy question, but how do your glasses stay on your head?" Because I don't have ears. and I was like, you know, that's actually a really good question.
That
I
is
think
pretty
I'm
good
just
question.
really lucky.
I was asking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing right now when I was looking at you. I was trying to look like when you said that. I was trying to look like where do they go to?
You got a little bump there, huh?
Yeah, I'm just lucky. I buy good glasses, I guess. I don't know.
Let's not take all the ear. Just take a little bit, but leave enough for the eyeglass to catch. That's funny. That's funny.
Hey, well, this is good. It was real good. Oh, by the way, there was somebody else like chimed in. Oliver. Did y'all see Oliver?
Yeah, I saw that earlier. He said I've been waiting to see you guys for so Ashley E. Long. Is that like a joke that I don't get?
I was like, I'm wondering if there's a joke in there. Oliver, if you're still on, man, you may have to clarify.
He's been waiting to see us for a long time because our tour, you know, we keep promising him we're going to bring our tour out to see him. But
we need to.
Oh, long. Oh, he just meant long. He's like, oh, just long.
He just meant.
But I was thinking, I was like, maybe
I
was like, well, maybe he meant like so very, very long.
Right. I thought maybe that was like some new phrase. I'll try it, you know. I'm gonna tell my
Yeah.
wife, "Oh, baby, I've been waiting for this for so Ashley E. Long."
I'm
She's gonna be like, "Who the hell's Ashley?" Yeah.
like, wait, is that a turn off, babe? Because I like the name
Damn it.
Ashley. I think it's kind of sexy.
Oliver's gonna get me in trouble, man.
Well, guys,
Your autocorrect
been a
did it.
blast.
Who is Ashley E. Long, bro? He
Yeah.
said his autocorrect did that. Your autocorrect corrected it to a proper name.
You know what's crazy is I read typo and autocorrect pretty fluently. I'm surprised I missed that.
Yeah.
But
It's
I
so
really
weird
think
what autocorrect does these days. How it like thinks it's helping and it's just clearly not.
Yeah, kind of
Study
like when it
rude
says duck.
relationships.
Apparently, I say duck a lot. Duck, D-U-C-K, duck.
Yeah.
Get that duck out of here.
All right, girls, man, I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to see you guys
Right.
next time. Oh, so are y'all going to lock in for Pink Floyd?
Man, I don't know.
Dude, don't be
I
dumb.
said it to my wife the other day, and she just didn't respond to it at all, which is like
Well,
like
she's
she had to
welcome
really
to
think
come.
about it.
She's welcome to come.
Yeah, I know.
But so we'll go do the
really
Pink
hard
Floyd
with all our
concert, and
kids.
we're going to do something cool afterwards, too.
Trying to see if we can get in, if we can get us booked somewhere on that 13th.
Yeah, we got to book a
booked
show
on that Saturday, huh?
Yeah, we just got to book a show for that following day, or
That's
and
right.
maybe
We're
the
going to
one
try to do it
before it.
downtown. Yeah, in San Antonio.
So maybe
If we
you
can
can
turn
work
it
on
into work,
on
then hell
getting
yeah, man.
get us something in
Yeah, I
San
thought-
Antonio that Saturday.
Yeah, Mike, didn't you say you knew the boss down there?
I reached out to him 2 days ago. I sent them a text message with all the information that we had, and I'm waiting for a response.
Okay.
But there's
Cool, man.
there's 4 or 5 other posts out there in San Antonio though.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. It's Military USA, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah, buddy. We just got to
All right, guys. Hey,
out there.
it's been
Oh,
real.
All
Good
right,
night.
fellas.
Yeah, man. Good night.
We'll see you next week.
Only if
See
you're
you next
lucky.
week.